Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Time for me to talk about Berserk, The Guardians of Desire, chapters 1 and 2. So, just finished reading these two chapters, and honestly, really good. Like, really good. I think I enjoyed these chapters a lot more than I guess the opening chapters of the Black Swordsman. Part of the reason why I am enjoying these chapters more, I feel like it's because we are diving deeper into Guts' character. Again, for those who don't know, I have seen bits and parts of the Golden Age, so I have context in what is actually going on with Guts' character, and more importantly, why he may possibly feel or act this way. Um, and some of these emotions and some of the revelations as well in these chapters, right? You got like the behelit, you got the god hand, like these are all revealed in these chapters, and we're not really supposed to know all of these, but because I do know what happens in the Golden Age arc, so I kind of got that like foresight on like what is supposed to happen, even though I'm not supposed to. So I will be talking a bit, or at least referencing some parts of the Golden Age throughout these videos, I guess, until I reach the Golden Age arc. So just keep that in mind when watching, my review and my discussion for these chapters. But as I was saying, yeah, really great chapters. I think the fact that we are purposefully seeing Guts in this mysterious way, right? We are we're supposed to be unsure of what happened to Guts before, right? These are things that if this is your first time reading the manga, you're supposed to be questioning things, right? What does the blob baby supposed to represent? Like, even I am still like trying to figure out, or trying to understand or wrap my head around it, because I'm pretty sure I don't really remember that. So like there's that. You're also supposed to question things like, again, like the behelit, what does that represent for Guts, the brand as well, right? We kind of get a glimpse of that, like we kind of understand why it's happening, but like why he got that in the first place is something that we don't know yet. But I do really appreciate some of the groundwork that Miura has put into these beginning chapters. Again, I feel like it's, on one hand, I'm not experiencing Berserk the way it's supposed to be experienced, because again, I'm not supposed to know some of these things, and these are supposed to be left in mystery. But because I do know about these things, it almost, I have more appreciation to these beginning chapters because I know the context, or at least I know what Miura is going for. And I guess if I were to read these chapters before, like if I'm trying to imagine myself having never seen Berserk before, and this is my first time experiencing Berserk, like what would I feel? I think I would still probably enjoy it, but I would not like Guts as a character as much as I am currently right now. I would I would probably know that there's something going on with Guts, but because I don't know what is going on with Guts, I would have that, okay, we'll wait and see what is going on before I actually love this character. Like I'm enjoying this character, but I'm not loving this character yet. Because I do know what happened, and I can kind of fill in the gaps on like what is actually going through Guts' mind. I just have this level of appreciation more, because it goes to show like how much Miura has planned all of these things out. And again, like I don't really know if Miura did plan all of it, or if he was just writing it as he goes along, or at least during these beginning chapters. Like I know, ever since Miura's passing, there was the news that Miura has passed on like his notes and like what he envisioned for like the end of Berserk. Like, I mean, that's still like a ways off for me, but like because of that, it goes to show that Miura has planned it all out, or at least has a roadmap of like what's to come. So it makes me think of like, okay, how much has Miura actually planned? during his inception of this manga, because seeing everything being put into place in these chapters is really, really fun and remarkable, because like, oh, I know that, oh, so it's really fun. It's engaging as well. The art style, again, like, I don't really need to compliment his art style at this point, because it's Miura's art style. It's Berserk. It's great, obviously. Like, and the crazy part is, like, again, like, I think I mentioned it during like the previous video, but the crazy part is, like, it's only gonna get better from here, right? So it'll be fun and I guess exciting to witness like how much the art style and the level of detail and quality that will evolve from like these beginning chapters of Berserk up until like maybe like the like the future of Berserk. But speaking of more about like Guts' character and his the story and the writing that is being put into him, yeah, I really appreciate what is being shown in these chapters. It's still going it's still showcasing Guts as this seemingly um almost not emotionless, but a person who doesn't want to emote. He is distancing himself from emotions, and especially towards other people. This has been a thing from the very beginning, right? We see this in the first part of Berserk when the gold sorry, not the Golden Age arc, the Black Swordsman arc, right? And we're still in the Black Swordsman arc, if I'm not mistaken, but like the Black Swordsman chapter in the previous video, right? We see that, but it is through Puck, which again I adore, is that we are getting drip feed, I guess, of like what Guts is really feeling, and what is his actual emotions are. Because if it's not, if it isn't for Puck, which I think this isn't a form of criticism, by the way. It's just that I see Puck as this really convenient character that Miura wrote so that he can convey the feelings of his main character of Guts without Guts showing it himself, if that makes sense. Usually, if there's nobody else to say to you, the reader, of like what the character is thinking, then you should there's usually like a speech bubble or a thought bubble or a square box that says like the main character's inner monologue, like let's say, for example, like Guts is like in the panel, let's say Guts is like feeling really angry and like not happy, but like smiling and like enraged. But then there's a dialogue that there's a box in a dialogue that says, "No, I'm really scared. I'm really terrified," or something like that, for example, right? Where you, the reader, will understand the inner feelings of the characters through their own inner monologues. But Miura kind of twist that a bit by, instead of having his own inner monologues, no, we're going to have another character who just so happens to be an elf who has the power to read other people's mind and see their and feel their own emotions as well. It makes it, one, it's a convenient way, as I said, but two, it just makes for really good use of world building and fantasy creatures and characters, because like, it's a fantasy. Do whatever you want, right? Be creative in what you do. And I think Puck, while I do think was probably initially created as a very convenient way for Miura to showcase like Guts' real emotion, but it's done in a really natural way, and it's more of a compliment, to say the least, because like, again, it's better to have something that feels naturally conveyed, even if it is still in a way exposition in what a character is feeling, rather than having them just blurt it out loud, like, yeah, I am feeling sad, I am feeling depressed, thank you for understanding, you know what I mean? So really good, really good. Like, I'm really enjoying Puck. Like, Puck himself is a really fun character to read and to see. I still think that the banter and the comedic side of Berserk is really sweet and just right on the spot. Like, it's not too much that it takes away from the real tone of the story, but it's not minimum enough to make it feel out of place. Like it's just right there in the middle of like it just fits. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm really enjoying it. I do love a bit of levity on my really dark fantasy show. Like because sometimes you kind of need that. You don't want it to be like serious every time. I mean you can, but in a world and a story like Berserk, I feel like levity is almost necessary due to like how gruesome and brutal some of the things are. Um, but going back to Guts, as I said, the reason why I'm enjoying these chapters a lot was again the fact that we are diving deeper into Guts' character, and also because we are like seeing this other side of Guts that we haven't really seen before in the previous chapters. My camera just died, and it's back on. It's not really, it didn't really die. The camera cable connection. Anyways, it's the fact that Guts is clearly shown to be hating himself because of how many times he shoves other people off, right? And it's not because that he dislikes them. No, it's simply because those people reminds Guts of himself. And again, this is something that I feel like I I would probably get, but I wouldn't understand the gravity of the situation if not for the fact that I have read the Golden Age arc. Like because I know what happened, it's like I understand like how heavy it is for Guts, especially to carry this weight in him, right? Because it is terrifying. Like I don't really need to explain further, but like the events of the Golden Age, especially towards the end of that during the eclipse, yeah, that would probably leave somebody in trauma. It would. And seeing Guts just still living with that trauma, and I don't know how many years it's been. Like the manga kind of hinted at maybe it's 7 years, maybe more, maybe less. I'm not sure. But I'm just gonna go off and say probably 7 years ever since the events of the Golden Age. But correct me if I'm wrong again. But having these many years of experience and just still feeling that trauma, still feeling that weight, still feeling that guilt of you unable to save your friends and you were quote unquote weak at the time because you were unable to do these things, and it's just chirping away at Guts' heart and him shoving other people off because he sees himself in them, right? But it also reminds him of like, hey, these people, you may see them as weak, but the fact that they are still here and the fact that they have been through a lot of things, right? A lot of terrible, terrible things. Vargas is a character that I will miss, but his introduction and his position in the story of Berserk is a necessary one because he is there to showcase to Guts, hey, you're not the only one who is hurting here. Other people have been hurt as well. This old man who's older than Guts, who has no experience in war, no experience in like the soldier's life. He is not strong as Guts. He is weak. Physically, he is weak. But mentally, he is able to survive. He is still there. He's still going out strong. He looks, I mean, factually worse than Guts in this situation, right? His face is destroyed. His legs no more. He looks as Guts, as Guts even put it, like disgusting, like it is what it is. But the fact that he is still there and he has more conviction than Guts at that in these chapters, right? Of like, he still has this really strong and kind heart. The fact that he is able to withstand and to, like accept any, I guess, brute that Guts threw at him, right? Because Guts is being mean at him. But the fact that he is still kind and he's still like, it's okay, that's fine, I get it, just kill the count for me, please. Like, you gotta respect that. And even Guts, I feel like he knows this, and because he sees that potentially, again, my own interpretation, but I feel like because Guts sees that Vargas is this character who, again, physically is a much weaker character than Guts, but he is able to be as courageous and brave as he is up until the very end. I feel like Guts sees that and he feels more, he would blame himself more because he just basically like rated at him. He just insulted him. He just think of this person as weak, but up until the very end, obviously he's not weak. He's strong. And I feel like Guts wanted to be that way. And even then, I do find it beautiful that once we reach the end of the second chapter of the Guardians of Desire, he would go to Vargas's grave and said that, you know, I won't fail. I will not fail like you. Right? There is that sense of a bit of belittlement in that sentence of like, I'm not gonna fail like you. But there's also this sense of the complete opposite of, I'm not going to make the same mistake as you did. I'm gonna be stronger than you. And that's hopeful. And that's good. And I like that. And that's like the main focus of this entire 2 chapters. So overall, as I've said, great chapter. A lot of new introductions, a lot of new plot elements being at play. We do end off with Guts, I would assume, going after the Count again, after witnessing what Puck, especially Puck, right? Because Puck at the end of this chapter actually went against the Count and the soldiers of trying to save Vargas, right? Even though he failed, but like that admiration, that level of courage and bravery, obviously you cannot ignore that. So I do feel like Guts is going to go back into the, he's gonna go to the Count again, and we're gonna see him facing off against the Count once again. And there is this new character that we met, or at least we got a glimpse of her, right? This young, I guess, lady, this female character, I'm going to assume is a princess because she is locked in a castle, I would imagine, and that could be like a good, I guess, opportunity or a good character that will have some emotional weight for the next chapters. Like, if Guts failed to save Vargas, then she is going to be the replacement, right? Of, okay, Guts, you failed to save Vargas, don't fail to save her. You know what I mean? And I mean, this is the world of Berserk. Obviously, he would probably fail, and she would die again. Like it could happen. It could happen, but it is that emotional weight, right? Of like, okay, now we have someone. I almost said something. But now we have someone that we can, I guess, attach to and have a sense of fear, and that would elevate the conflict. So I'm really curious to see where the next chapters of the Guardians of Desire will take place. Obviously, we're gonna go to the castle, and obviously, we're gonna face the Count and probably save the princess. It is very formulaic, I will say that. I feel like these past couple of chapters, we got something that is pretty similar in this regard. It's just like an escalation of the it's an escalation of the power levels, to say the least, right? In the first chapter in the Black Swordsman arc, we are facing off against like the Snake Demon or the Snake Count or whatever. Now we're facing off against this new Count, and it's like another castle. It's another place. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like a video game. It's kind of structured like a video game, but I'm fine with that. It's fine. Again, like it's still also in the beginning chapters of Berserk, so I would be I can forgive Miura again. Like, this is still his early days. Having something be formulaic is safer for an author to approach, especially in the beginning, because it would lay down some really fundamental aspects, or it'll open the doors to a more broader world, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm making sense, but you get what I'm talking about. It's easier and it's more approachable to readers as well, of like, yeah, this is very easy to follow. You can understand the world and what is going on. You don't have to worry about like all of these random things that is being introduced, like that'll come later. For now, just stick with the very simple plot of the story so you can better understand the characters, you can better understand the themes, and once you do understand those themes and you do understand those characters and you understand the story and what is at stake, then the story can ramp up and the story can get more and more complex. I am fine with that. I've seen plenty of shows that started really, really simple, but then ultimately end up being very complex, and I feel like Berserk is going to be this way. Again, not a dig at these beginning chapters of Berserk. I feel like most people would hopefully agree with me in this assessment of like, yeah, these beginning chapters, at least for now, seem very formulaic, very easy to follow, but it is what it is. And of course, knowing what happens in the Golden Age, like, yeah, the complexity is going to ramp up really fast. So really good chapters of Berserk. Yeah, really good. I'm really enjoying Berserk. As I had hoped. I would be very disappointed at myself even if I'm not enjoying Berserk, because yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed this small little review of and I guess my discussion, my thoughts of Berserk. And here's the reaction. So yeah, enjoy. Hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, we are continuing with Berserk, with the next part of this volume, I suppose. That is, of course, the Guardians of Desire, part 1, which means we're going to be continuing with the next volume immediately afterwards, with however many parts that this specific part, I'm saying parts a lot, but we'll see how far or how long this part will take us. I'll probably split it into 2 videos, maybe more, depending on like how long this is going to take me, but let us continue onwards with the Guardians of Desire, part 1. So, continuing off where we left off, of course, Guts having to deal with all of the stuff with the old dude and the daughter as well, right? The priest. And of course, this is the world that Guts lives in. All right. So, execution time. Verdict. The Inquisition hereby finds the accused guilty of making a pact with the devil and engaging in heresy most foul. The accused is therefore sentenced to immediate execution. I have a feeling that whoever this person is, this priest person, or this, well, I guess this Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition, no, this dude who is representing the Inquisition, or just reading whatever it is that the Inquisition is saying, I have a feeling that he's the one who's probably engaged with devils and making pacts. But we shall see. Maybe it's the fact that this poor innocent person is, tugging a bit at my heartstrings of like, oh, this poor soul. Maybe they are innocent, but who knows? It's the world of Berserk after all. Like, looks can be deceiving and whatnot, so we can't really trust anybody, which also explains why Guts isn't really trustworthy of, or Guts isn't really trusting of anyone, right? And plus, he doesn't really want to make friends with anybody because, of course, the idea of making friends and then losing them as well. Obviously, we know what happened to Guts before this, right? And during the whole I almost say Twilight, during the whole eclipse thing, which of course, again, it's an information that we're not supposed to know, but obviously I do know about it, so again, kind of adds more into the perspective. Anyways, it's a lie! You've got to believe me! I'm not a heretic, I swear! And off with her head. Guardians of Desire, Part 1. It is also something that I didn't really talk about in the first video, but I do kind of feel like, again, it's because of the difference in art style, the different approach in how Miura drew these beginning pages and the rest of the chapter. Because here you can see like far more like shading, right? More so, and shading that isn't using like the usual comic halftones. Like this feels like an actual, like an actual graphite pencil or whatever, I guess whatever utensil that Miura was using at the time. So I'm curious, and I'm wondering if these are meant to be colored, and the fact that, or because it's now being used as, or being bundled with like the digital edition or whatever, or something happened during publication or whatever that made this version to be black and white, but it kind of feels like it's supposed to be in color. So tell me if I'm right or wrong about this, because there are multiple times in mangas where, when I'm reading one and I'm reading it in black and white, or I'm reading it in color, and then the opposite happens when I try to I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry. I'm your headphones. Sorry. I'm gonna sneeze again. but as I was trying to say, there's multiple times where I'm reading like something, like a different manga, and I'm reading it, and sometimes it's in color, but then I look at a different version, or I look at other people reacting to it, and it turns out that it's in black and white, and I'm like, okay, which one is supposed to be the real one? But I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like the one in color. I kind of get that feeling that these are supposed to be in color. It also makes sense because these are like the beginning parts or the beginning pages of a manga. Usually you want to pop them more a bit, like just to entice the reader and whatnot. So anyways, bit of a tangent there, but I guess I also mentioned this. What the fuck is going on with their faces? Like they all purposely drawn to look hideous and disgusting and terrible. And then if we go back to this page before with this lady who's about to be executed, like she's the only one who looks like, well, I guess the only one who looks normal. Which I guess, okay, I guess that's why they wanted to execute her, or that's why they she looks different. She doesn't look as ugly as we are, therefore heretic. Your Excellency, the execution is complete. Well done, doll. But this is the 5th one this month. I'm wondering if we're not overdoing it a bit. If we keep this up, how long will it be before His Holiness intervenes? I don't care. Arrest anyone who looks like a spy or a drifter as heretics. Look, as he drinks his wine. Figures, as I mentioned before, right? Obviously, the one that looks kind of like that is gonna be the one who are dealing a bit with, some devilry and whatnot. I do this all for the good of my subjects. It is my sacred duty to protect this kingdom from any accursed heretics. The peaceful existence of my subjects is my utmost desire, my utmost pleasure. I will not let anyone interfere with that. Yes, my lord. I have a feeling a certain person with a big sword is gonna intervene with all of this. Well, speak of the devil. And that horrified face of hers. The fate. Yeah. I mean, your final expression before death. And that's gonna be the thing that's gonna, that's gonna stick with your. I do love Guts' expression here. Oh no, and there's there's the little brother as well. Anyone caught sympathizing with a heretic will not go unpunished, even children. You'll be thrown into the dungeon. And I love how everybody's like looking down because it's like you can't really oppose them, right? They're ruled in fear, so they can't really do anything about it. So they just look down and not really do anything about it. Hey, you! Hand that over to me, will ya? He spits on him. Why, you? Throws it at the. Cuts the head. And here we transition from the, I guess, the more detailed art style to the more simplistic, normal, quote unquote, manga art style that is more. I don't want to say simplistic because obviously it's very highly detailed, but you get what I'm talking about. Your Excellency. You bastard, and yep. Whoa, whoa. Ooh, yeah, there's the mark. And that's why Guts, had that expression before. What is this? This mark is... You. Who are you? Oh, sweet. I love that. You want to take my head? It's already taken, right? It's like, yeah, my death sentence, it's already done. I already got it. This is my death sentence. This brand, this mark. And off he goes. Hang on, give me a sec. All right, sorry about that. What are you doing just standing there? After him, quickly! Who in God's name? The Black Swordsman. How amusing. A declaration of war, perhaps? Alright, that is disgusting. Oh, hello. Who do we have here? Somebody sneaking, looking around. Of course, Guts trying to run away, gets caught. By decree of the Inquisition, you are hereby placed under arrest for conspiring with heretics. If you resist, your life will be forfeit. I have a feeling that Gus doesn't really care. I mean, obviously we have seen him take, go against probably more men than this. Yeah, figures. Sucks to be you, but you mess with the wrong person, buddy. Sorry. Oh, man. Man, this art style just never gets old. these single page shots are great. A perfect way to, you know, to strike a pose. Okay, yeah, they're commentating on the sword again. I love how it's a bit self-aware. Like, I don't think I remember this in the Golden Age arc, or at least the movies or the bits of the TV show that I have seen, because I'm pretty sure Guts didn't really had the big sword at the time. Like, it was a sword, but it wasn't a big sword. You know what I mean? It was it was much too big to be called a sword. Massive, thick, heavy, and far too rough. Indeed, it was like a heap of raw iron. What kind of sword is that? Don't just stand there, charge! Bad mistake. Bad mistake. That's a mistake. Yep. I love that. I love how the soldier. I would imagine that the soldier that is right here, that is about to get beaten by Guts, just scream in the most high pitched voice possible, like. I wish that is the case. It feels like it. But hey, he Guts broke his sword and cut straight into. Armor is useless in this world, by the way. That's the vibe that I'm getting at. Like, yeah, Guts is wearing armor, but there's a reason why he's not concealing his entire body with armor. You know, like sometimes you're gonna get people nitpicking, like, herder, like Guts' armor isn't realistic because he's not covering, you know, like his arms or whatever and such. And fair enough. But when you have somebody like Guts who's able to just cut straight into like real armor, doesn't really matter, does it? What an incredible sword! He's slicing our armor in half with it. He's inhuman. Oh. Using crossbows. Using that height and also range advantage. Guts! Above you! Oh, here comes Puck. My eyes! Very nice, very nice. I love it, I love it. I love how Guts is just like. And you can kind of feel the impact or like the heaviness of the sword. Because it doesn't feel fast, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to describe it, because like if you want something to feel fast, obviously you would have like some streak lines or whatever, right? When an object is moving from left to right or right to left or whatever, right? Here, you don't really see those like streak lines or motion indicators or anything. Like, it's just a still shot of Guts and his sword swimming, and it kind of adds to the illusion that, yeah, this is a really, really big sword and it's really heavy, so yeah, it's not going to move fast. And I do love, again, like the contrast between like how slow, quote unquote, the sword is with the movement of, like, let's say Guts's cape, which I think is a really nice way to showcase motion. Like, yeah, Guts is moving pretty fast because of how his cape is like moving and contorting. But that sword that he is wielding, yeah, it's a really big sword. He's not. This isn't like Fate or like any other anime, for example, where you have like these really massive weapons and characters are just like swinging it around like it's plastic. So it's really good. Hey, I saved your life. I did, didn't I? You're still here? Looks like you owe me one now. Huh? Oh, you are lucky that Guts is there. You're really lucky that Guts didn't hit you as well. Now we're even. I love that. Hey, you're going too far. Captain, Lord Zondark. Huh. That's quite a sword you've got there, little man. Whoa, he's huge. Let's see how that sword of yours fares. Oh, he got a warhammer. Yep. When I put it to the test against this warhammer, and you missed. I love how Guts is just like sidestepping this. Like, yeah, this is nothing. Oh, some casual, some friendly fire there from the captain. Ooh. See, in Elden Ring, this is the part where after you beat all of the um, small fry, you get to like one of the captains. Still an NPC, not really of any importance, but adds more to the the difficulty. I love how Guts doesn't have any expression here. Like he's just, really, you're wasting my time here. What's wrong? There's nowhere left to run. See, it's not just a question of size. If you can't handle your weapon, it's nothing more than baggage. Oh, here comes. Ooh, oh. Oh, you can see it. You can kind of see like the warhammer tip just breaking right here. Oh, and then it broke and hit him like shrapnel. Okay. Captain! Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I love that. I love some of the comedy in this in Berserk. I really do. Like there's some dry humor and there's like humor that just fits well for the characters, or it's not really meant. Sometimes it's not really meant to be humor, but it just comes off as humor or comedic because of how, I guess, the way the characters are delivering it. Like I am enjoying this. I'm enjoying this side of Berserk that I don't think I've haven't actually know about, if that makes sense. Again, like there's bits of it in the previous part, and then in regards to like some of the stuff from the Golden Age that I do know, like I don't really remember much comedic moments as well. Like none of them really stood out. So this is a welcome surprise, and I think it's good. I do love the fact that the story is balancing between, you know, the dark and depressing side of the world with something that is more lighthearted, something that is more fun and a bit of levity. Man, Zondark. Oh, here's the dude again. The one who's spying on them. Still covered in the shade. You miserable cur. God damn, there's no end to them. Oh, smoke bombs? Or actual bombs? Smoke bombs. What the hell? Smokey! You there. Over here. Quickly. Who, us? He's still here. Where? Find him. What are you doing? Hurry up. Wait for me. Don't let the bastard escape. Find him. Dude, poor Zondark. Kill him. Kill him. Got to nighttime. How unfriendly. It's because everyone's suspicious. And they're not just afraid of strangers. Acquaintances, neighbors, friends, even family. In this town, people are a thing to be feared. Here we are. Interesting place you got here. A collector, perhaps, or just a shopkeeper. We still don't know if this person is to be trusted, but they did help us out. What What is this place? Is he a butcher or maybe an Eastern herbalist? Yeah, that that could be terrifying if you like see your own kind in a jar. Yeah, I can see why Puck is afraid. This expression from Guts, though. Quite a collection. I suppose if somebody were to accuse you of being a heretic, you'd have a hard time explaining all this. Nothing of that sort, just a has-been physician. That's all I am. Oh, heresy. Heresy. A physicist in this day and age? Heretic. Witch. Who are you? Why did you help me? You know, I saw you at the execution grounds today. Do you have some sort of grudge against the Count? Is it revenge? Guts! I'm the one who's asking the questions, not you. That's horrible! Why'd you have to kick him like that? You okay, mister? I couldn't afford to let them capture you back there. I want you to kill him. I want you to cut him into little pieces. That demon. Oh man. Yeah, Berserk. If there's one thing that Berserk does well, and Berserk does a lot of things well, but if there's one thing that Berserk really does well, it's the grotesque. The grotesque aspect of whether it is the design of the creatures, the humans as well, it just makes you feel things. That accursed Count, he's not even human. He's a demon. Look at me, these legs, this face. That fiend cut them up piece by piece and ate them. You don't believe my story, do you? I believe you. No. Rather, I know what he is. There's something I want to show you. A secret door? Why do I have a feeling it's gonna be something awful again? Here. This is it. This is a ballad. We've seen that before, or at least I have seen that before. Man, the Golden Age arc really does introduce a lot of things that, or at least covers a lot of things that. Well, I don't really need to explain that. You know, like you know what I'm talking about. It is fun and also, I guess, interesting to see how the story of Berserk begins and how one would experience it for the first time if they had never seen the anime before, or if the manga is their first ever introduction to Berserk. Like, you would be asking questions like what this is, what this is about. And the crazy thing is, I'm pretty sure, or at least I'm assuming, that you're not going to get these answers until the Golden Age arc. So it is kind of fascinating to see like how many things that are being set up in the beginning of Berserk, which is technically what is happening after the Golden Age, that will be explored more during the Golden Age, if that makes sense. And Guts' expression, of course, from his shock, anger, and that is the end of the manga. Oh, okay. I love that. Stop. This is the back of the book. For people who have never read who have never read manga before. Hey, I don't think I've ever seen this before. Or maybe there's like other mangas and volumes out there that has done this before, but this is the first time that I'm actually seeing like this, I guess, warning. Pretty cool actually, because of course people are gonna be reading it like opening it normally, and then they're gonna be seeing this for the first time. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I think that's pretty much it for. Yep, that's it for this volume, or at least this. Yeah, this is the end for this volume, and I will be continuing with the next volume. So give me a couple of seconds. All right, let us continue on with the Guardians of Desire, chapters 2 and 3. A ballad. You know what this is? Oh, he knows more than what that is. Guts, stop! Who the hell are you? Where'd you get this thing? It's not mine. It's from the castle. I stole it from the Count. I'm telling you the truth. Tell me about it. Tell me everything you know. My name is Vargas. I used to be the castle physician. In those days, the Count was a different person. He was cruel, but at least he was still human. But 7 years ago, after getting hold of this thing, the Count changed. Interesting. 7 years ago. I'm wondering if that is 7 years ago, as in we are now 7 years after the events of the eclipse. I'm wondering if that is the case, because of course, obviously, there's a time skip between the Golden Age and I guess the present day of Berserk. So I'm wondering if that is the case, because I do know like obviously the significance of the Behelit, and like the last time, or at least the last time I saw the Behelit was during a really pivotal moment, to say the least. So I am curious, like, I'm also curious, like, are there more than one Behelit? I cannot remember if that's a plot point. I'm gonna guess that there are, considering Guts' own reaction to the fact that he is saying a Behelit and not the Behelit, if that makes sense, right? If Guts' wording was to say like that is the Behelit, then there's only one Behelit. But because he's saying a Behelit, that kind of insinuates, or that it implies that there are more than one Behelit out there, which I guess makes a lot more sense. But we shall see. 7 years ago, after getting hold of this thing, the Count changed. He began to treat people as if they were playthings, dissecting them alive, slicing them open, chopping them up, violating them, and then eating them. His inquisition of heretics became nothing more than an excuse to acquire more bodies. I couldn't bear to be a part of the Count's diversion, so I secretly fled the castle with my wife and 2 sons. But on our way, we were caught and thrown into prison. Then the fiend hacked me up, and right before my eyes, he took my wife and my sons. Even now, the image is seared into my memory. Oh, we do not need to see this. Oh, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, it is seared into my memory as well. Uh, see, I thought that was it. Like we just see it through like the silhouette. Oh, there's the eyeballs as well. See, I thought we were only gonna see it through like the silhouettes, and I'm like, okay, let me go back for a bit. I'm like, okay, yeah, we see it through like the darkness, great use of of the blacks and whites, right? Just the contrast, like concealing it in the darkness, but we can clearly see like the figures of like the wife's body and the son's like body as well, also being like sliced up open. You can even see the spines and everything, and like, okay, I get it, like, you don't really need to show me anything else, and you did. And yeah, that's a devil, all right. That's a demon. At the time, more than anger or sorrow, more than concern for my wife and two sons, I was nothing but a prisoner of fear. I used a drug that I'd concealed to feign my death, and when the opportunity arose, I slipped out of the castle, taking this thing with me. It was a miracle. Since then, 7 years have passed. During that time, I've tirelessly researched every aspect of religion and the occult, but I could never uncover a single clue about the nature of this thing. This thing. What in the world is it? A key. That key opens a portal to another world that overlaps our own. It's a key that summons demons from another dimension that have manipulated the dark side of human history since ancient times. The 5 members of the Godhead. Incredible imagery. Yeah, it's insane to see like the imagery of the eclipse in the beginning of Berserk. Like, people have no idea what this is about. I guess on one hand, if you do consume the Golden Age arc, whether it is through, well, I guess through the anime movies or TV shows, because if you consume the Golden Age arc immediately in the manga form, then like what the fuck, what are you doing? Why are you skipping like the previous parts and all? But like, it is fascinating to see, because like if you do consume the Golden Age arc first, then the idea or the reveal of the eclipse is something that is a surprise to you, right? It's like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? What is this? But if you have read Berserk from the very beginning, suddenly it's like the revelation of like, oh, that's the thing that they were foreshadowing all of those chapters ago. And I guess on one hand, there is a side of me that feels like I want that feeling of that slight feeling of like knowing what is happening but not knowing at the same time, and just the constant dread of like knowing, oh shit, no, we've seen this before, we just don't know like to what extent the impact of this thing is. But on the other hand, I am also kind of grateful that my first experience with the eclipse is that of a surprise because it is just pure shock, and it made me feel like I am a part of the characters as well, right? Because the characters during that time also have no idea what is going on, and I totally feel like their confusion, their fear, and their stress of like trying to figure out what is going on and how do we get out of this. Because if you already know what is going on with the eclipse, then it's like, oh well, shit. This is the part where everybody dies, I suppose. You know what I mean? So like there is this like two different ways for people to experience the eclipse, but either way, pretty good. I'm pretty sure this one right here is the one we know, right? Because because like I recognize. Wait, I recognize this person, or I guess this god hand as well. I'm pretty sure this god hand is the lady god hand. I don't remember this one, or at least I don't remember the actual design. Trying to remember, but I can't. I don't really remember. These three are memorable to me because they are distinct. But this one, I can't. I don't know. I cannot quite put my finger on it. Like I don't really remember the design for the other one. This one, I'm pretty confident on who this person is. Zondar, calm down. Jeez. What's going on here? It's His Majesty. What's all this racket? It's Lord Zondar's condition. Black Swordsman, I'll kill you. Have everyone vacate the room at once, doll. What? Excellency, this is dangerous. May I suggest you return to your chambers? Oh, I'm like trying to process like the correct order of like the dialogue. It's supposed to be Black Swordsman's I'll kill you. Excellency, this is dangerous. May I suggest you return to your chambers? Have everyone vacate to the room at once. But I said at once. Everyone leave immediately. Poor Sondark. Why am I saying poor Sondark? Fuck Sondark. You despise him, don't you? The Black Swordsman. Yes! I'd do anything to kill him. Very well then. I'll grant you your wish. What the fuck? And it goes into his. No, that is disgusting. No, fuck that. Fuck that. Take it inside of you, my daemon. It's gonna turn into a demon. Or at least, yeah. Or become a vessel of this, whatever this is. Again, the grotesque designs of Berserk. Really, really well done. Also makes me disgusted. Lord Dahl! What is it? One of our informers. He says he knows the whereabouts of the fugitive, the Black Swordsman. What? Excellent. Take 30 troops along with you and... Your Excellency. Wait. Sorry. Excellent, take 30 troops along with you and... Your Excellency. Wait. We lose the elements of surprise if you send too many men to kill him. And don't forget what happened to this afternoon. No matter how many foot soldiers we send after him, it's unlikely they'll be able to stop him. I have a better plan. Zondark with the shark tooths. Zondark, the time has come for you to wreak vengeance to your heart's content. Zondark, hate to break it to you, but what the fuck are you doing, Puck? Hitting the Behela, that takes a lot of courage. I mean, I would not touch that shit at all. I don't believe it. I wouldn't budge an inch. If you look closely, it's kind of got a neat looking face. That shit just opened its eyes, closed it again, and Puck's like, oh yeah, I mean, it's art. Yeah? It's not artwork, that thing's alive. Why didn't you tell me before that? Why didn't you tell me before I touched that, you big jerk? Well, it may be alive, but it's no danger in its current state. Let's say it's kind of a tool. Well, how does it summon the God Hand? Stupid. I wouldn't be going through all of this trouble if I knew that. Forgot to ask you something. How did the Count first get hold of this thing anyway? By chance. He happened to buy it from a caravan of merchants that stopped by the castle one day. Even the merchants knew nothing about it. All they said was that they found it in a town bazaar somewhere to the east. By chance. Look at this. It's a layout map of the castle. There's a secret passage used for escape from the castle that only a handful of people know about besides the Count himself. If all goes well, you should be able to reach the inner compound undetected. I wish I could go with you, but with this body of mine, I'd only be a hindrance. I beg you, for the past 7 years, I've waited for this day. I've waited for the day that a man like you would appear. You're my only hope. Please, avenge me. And of course, Guts kicks him off. Don't touch me! Guts! Hey, what's the big idea? You make me sick. Don't you ever touch me like that again, understand? Have you seen yourself in the... Who's talking? Oh, Guts. Have you seen yourself in the mirror lately? You're the one who looks like a monster. At least make yourself a little more presentable. Listen, you... How come you're always picking on people like that? It's okay, I don't mind. If only you kill the Count. I don't care what you say about me. Spineless bastard. I won't avenge you, but I'll kill him all the same. Shh! Quiet. What's wrong? Zondark. I do love again like it's Guts's actions, right? Like it's there's layers to it. Like I talked about it before. Obviously, like we know that there's something going on within Guts, but it's also I don't know how to describe it. Did I mention this in my previous video or not? But I'll say it again regardless. Um it's the I guess from what I am currently gathering, it's more like the idea or the fact that Guts hate clearly hates people that look or seem weak, right? He finds them to be like he feels almost disgust. I don't want to say disgust because obviously it's more nuanced than that, but um for simplicity's sake, he feels rather uneasy or unpleasant by them. And I would say this is attributed to the fact that this is just a reflection of his own self-hatred because of course we know that he was unable to save a lot of people in the past, especially the ones who are closest to them. I would, again, just my own assumptions for now and my own interpretations, I would interpret the fact that, or I don't want to say the fact, Guts, in my own interpretation, is that he blames himself for the things that happened in the past. He sees himself as a weak person then, and he strives to be somebody who is more stronger than ever. And this is the Guts that we are seeing right now. Somebody who is obviously very powerful, very brave, very almost emotionless because he also feels that not emotionless, but like he doesn't want to be attached to other people, right? He's constantly shoving them away. And that is because of the past trauma that he had before, right? During the Golden Age, he failed to, like I said, failed to save a lot of his friends. He may see himself as a weak person then, and he's probably hating himself because he was a weak person. And every time he sees somebody who is also weak, spineless, whatever you want to call it, somebody who is unable to do what should have been done a long time before, or their inability to do so reminds Guts of his past self and it triggers him. Again, my own interpretation for now, but based on all the things that I know about Guts' character. Alright, let's move on to Zondark. Wearing armor, which we have pretty much established is pretty useless. The guy from this afternoon. You again. Tough bastard, aren't ya? Doing, doing, doing. Clanking sounds. Oh, he looks fugly. Now I get it. You're not even human anymore. Fool, I'll hack you to pieces. Again. Your armor is useless, dude. Armor in this world is fucking useless. Against Guts. Oh. I see. I see. That's a problem. Really cool. I love how the physician and the and Puck and the physician is just like right there in the room, and they're like, let's just back ourselves into a corner because we have no place to go. like we can't really move forward because we're gonna get right into like they're fighting and we can't really go anywhere else. So shit, we're stuck here. Cool. Deflecting his arms and everything. Guts is doing as much as he can. Ooh, that okay. Ooh. Well, this place is gone. It's for physician man. Didn't ask for this. Nice. The physician, um, covering Puck using his body. Hey, old fella, are you okay? More or less, but you're the one I'm worried about, little one. Oh, thanks. What a horrible monster! God save us! Oh man. He's swinging that battle axe around like a whip. It's too fast for the human eye to see. Really? Okay. At this rate, we'll all be chopped to bits. But the thing is, it's too fast to see. But Guts is blocking every single move. Holy shit. Bro, Guts, how the fuck is he able to move that fucking big sword? Remember what I said? Remember what I said before about like, oh yeah, I love how they showcase like Guts is moving and swinging his sword, but it's like clearly showing like how slow it is. And now we're seeing like Guts doing like inhuman. Using the cape, nice. Hitting him from behind. Does that do anything though? Like, obviously Guts went for the head, but like, does that do anything though, considering like he is half monster now? I don't think it's over. He's incredible! I always knew he was tough, but it seemed like he was just swinging his sword around wildly. But now I realize that he's a master swordsman. Cool shot of Guts. Oh, here we go. He's back. Yep, I knew it. Ah, well done, Black Swordsman. and he appears, still disgusting as ever. Not bad, Black Swordsman, for a mortal, that is. Ah. Man, the art style. It's just nice to look at. It's the Count? A long time no see, Vargas. So it is you. Just you wait. After I take care of him, I'll be delighted to continue where we left off 7 years ago. Takes the pellet. Truly impressive. You've honed your strength and skill to the utmost. Surely no one can defeat you. No human, that is. The fact that you're mortal is your downfall. Continues to fight him. Alright. Okay. Okay. The building collapses and that's it. Alright. Great. Great. Right. Run away. Run away. And of course the candles there just igniting the fire. Yuck. That's your idea of an escape route? Stinky. I wonder if he's already dead. What's that? The Count? Nah, it's not the Count. It's more like his daemon. It was feeding off that guy up there, in total control of his mind and body. All that remained was his desire to kill. This is where we part. But before I go, there's something I want. There's something I want from you. The Behelit. Come on. Think of it as down payment for killing the Count. That thing's of no use to you anyway. Takes it. Hey. Later. Hey! Guts! Old fella, take care of yourself, okay? I will. And you take care of yourself too, little one. You're a good person, you know that? At first I thought you were kinda creepy, but... I'm sorry. And that's okay. I'll go. Okay. Bye. One more thing. I think that people need to keep on living. Yes. Yes. You hit it right in the nail, Puck. You are correct. People need to keep on living. Oh god, flashbacks to the fire punch when I was reading that. Oh god. Oh. Live. You see, I don't really know much about life, but living for the future is more important than trying to avenge the past, I guess. The message of the story. What am I saying? I guess I'm just mixed up. No. You're right. See ya. Such a dear elf. Well, I can't just stand around here forever. No. No. God damn it, Berserk. They really are gonna do this. Keep on living, old man. Alright, I am now emotionally attached to this old character. Now, let's kill him. God damn it. Should have checked if the Count or its daemon is truly dead. Well, rest in peace, old man. You live so that Puck can tell us the moral message of the story. Listen, Guts, that's so rude. Just taking the ballot and walking off like that? At least you could have seen him off somewhere safe. What's the big idea? He saved you, you know? He showed you a secret passage into the castle too. He even gave you the ballot. I could have done those things myself. Well, except for this, which is much appreciated. So much that I would have taken it by force, if necessary. Scoundrel! But both of you want to destroy the Count, right? You're allies, after all. Allies? Me? And him? You're kidding me, right? Even when he begged me, I turned him down, that maggoty creep. How could you? I can't be bothered by some good-for-nothing bastard acting like we're friends. He'll end up dragging me down with him. That goes for you too, Bug. What is it? Shh. Another execution? Is it true? Oh no. It's Vargas. Is it true? Yes. There was just one yesterday. I know, but they say it's a friend of that fellow who caused all that commotion at the execution grounds. I hear it's supposed to be a warning to him. Guts. Hey, wait! Guts! Guts. Hey, Guts. Hey, Guts. Guts! Okay, I can take a hint. Alright then. Oh, sorry, I was still Puck. Alright then. I won't ask you again. Taking off his arm. I think this is the first time that we're actually seeing Guts take off his actual prosthetic arm. And reminding it of Fargus. Great. He sliced them up, chopped them up, and then ate them. Before my eyes, he took my wife and my sons. I was nothing but a prisoner of fear. Please, avenge me. See, yeah, I mean, of course Guts gonna avenge him, like, it reminds him, he reminds him of himself, like, that's the thing, like, he hates the fact that he is weak and all, but so were you in the past, and that's okay. It's also the fact that Vargas has also been through all of these terrible things, and he is still there, right? He is still here, he is still alive, he is still living through the pain, just like Guts is currently living through the pain as well. And that is not something that one would consider to be weak. No, that is something that is courageous, and that is something that requires a lot of strength and a lot of mental fortitude, I guess. Because for any other person, they probably could not live like that. So the fact that Guts is also seeing that, right? Recognizing that, and also applying it again back to himself. Yeah. Yeah. And this is also very classic, like a very classic like trope of like the character who is unwilling to help them, but then he realizes, you know, like he actually cares for these characters, and he's like, ah, god damn it, oh, I don't really want to help them, but God, you tug at my heartstrings, and now I have to do it. We meet again, Vargas. What has it been, 7 years now? What are you glaring at? Normally, we'd need to give you a painstaking interrogation, but I've decided to get it. Wait, who's talking? I thought it was the guards because of the speech bubbles, but no, it's still the count. Normally, I would need to give you a painstaking interrogation, but I've decided to get it over with and execute you right away. You should be grateful. Your Majesty, the object you mention is nowhere to be found. I see. So the Black Swordsman has it. I love that Puck is right next to I guess a figure of an elf. Oh my god, Puck, shut up. Clearly, Guts is trying to be discreet here. I knew you'd come. There is some good in you. So, what are you gonna do? You better hurry up. The old fella's gonna. You got it all wrong. I just came to watch him die. Sure, Guts. Sure. Fool yourself that. Sure. Lie to yourself. Look. Well, I mean, to be fair, if Guts ends up not really saving Fargus and he's just, watching, like, it is still in character for him, regardless of his actions. In the shadows past the castle gate. The trap. As soon as I approach the execution stand, hundreds of troops will burst out. You think I'm so noble? I'll just walk right into the trap? But, if you're so worried about it, why don't you save him? But, I couldn't possibly do that alone. Then shut up. The same goes for him. An average person. A misfit who can't even swing a sword. It's ridiculous for him to think he can defeat that monster. Ambition comes with a price attached. Of course, that price comes too high if you die for nothing. Not again, like before, his emotions are pouring into me. The reward for ambition, too great, is self-destruction. It burns. Dark and violent emotions pounding into me, self-hating, destructive, burning like black magma. Is this the source of Guts' strength? As I was mentioning about like self-hating and self-destruction. Yep. He should have known his limits. A rat should have lived like a rat. Guts, are you afraid? What are you talking about? The old fella, fighting enemies he can't possibly defeat. You're afraid of him, aren't you? Yeah, you are afraid. Afraid to admit that you're also fighting a losing battle. You don't want to admit that you're just like him. Well, then why did you come here? If you really didn't care, you wouldn't be here at all. You hated the old fella that much. You talk too much. You know that? Where does an elf like you get off talking like a human? Seeing Puck cry. Ugh. I love that. Puck is like, you big ass, selfish bastard chicken. Damn bug. Should I feel compassion? You gotta be kidding me. My head is splitting. Fear, anger, sadness, guilt, the hysteria of hundreds of people swirling around inside me. Oh yeah. I never really thought about that before. Like, if Puck is within the vicinity of like multiple different people and him being able to feel all of their emotions, like that's like a constant barrage of thought being like drilled into your mind. Like how do you deal with that? Fuck, looking at guts. Oh, he's going for it. He is going for it. That idiot. Anobaka. The little fellow. Oh. Hey, at least he tried. Hey, Guts, at least he went there and he was being brave enough to actually try to stop it, even though he kind of missed by a couple of inches, but stupid. What are you doing? Get on with it. Yes, sir. It's a shame that I won't be around to enjoy the sight of you choking in your own blood. What's that supposed to mean? Death will be paying you a visit soon enough, along with the hundreds of victims you've killed, will drag you down to hell with them. Nonsense, finish him off. Black Swordsman, I beg of you, hold up this devil's severed head before us once and for all. Hold it up before us. Off with his head. What are you feeling, Guts? What are you feeling? That facial expression from him. The baby from his dream once again appearing. Taking form into Vargas. That past trauma. Didn't show up after all, did you, Black Swordsman? Well done. Or maybe... Who is this? A princess? Lady? If Guts won't show up for Vargas, then he's probably gonna show up for whoever this person is. Oh, those corpse piles. Ugh. The way Guts just appeared out of nowhere. The look in your eyes, filled with vengeance. I won't fail. like you. Wow. Then the brand appearing again. Oh, this is the... Oh, not just the dead. These are the dead of, like, the corpses that they were piling up. His head. We want the Count's head. Revenge. Revenge. We want revenge together. Interesting. Interesting. They were about to possess Guts. Guts is actually already being possessed here. Because these souls, they want the same thing as Guts, or I guess they, again, like they want revenge, they want the Count dead, right? Their goals align. But then Guts rejects them, saying like, no. No. Obviously, I don't want to get possessed. Never. Never! You and I got nothing in common. You're dead. All of you, you're nothing but worthless scum! Get away from me, Caucasus! This is my fight. Mine! A person of flesh and blood! That's right. I'll do it myself. I'll kill the Count with my very own flesh and blood. And that is the end of the Guardians of Desire 2. Man! That was really long. Alright, thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Take care. Have a nice day. Peace.